there are some trending topics I wanted to show you that are coded events.
In a series of high-profile tragedies at a business complex in California April 1st that left 4 people dead, including a child, and at a grocery store in Boulder, Colorado, and a string of killings at spas in the Atlanta area last month. This morning, another American workplace shattered by gun violence as police search for answers.
This is a tragedy.
At least 8 killed in shooting at Indianapolis FedEx facility FF for your 66. This is tied to the money transfer, as are the other shooting events. The definition of facility: gentleness, lightness, ease. Facilities, facile is easy. It's easy to do. An opportunity. So we're in the process of the money transfer. This is an opportunity. It's the FedEx facility. The X Federal is an opportunity for you to put your money into the new system. This statement was issued. We are aware of the tragic shooting at our FedEx ground facility near the Indianapolis airport. Safety is our top priority, and our thoughts are with those affected. Okay, so I want to talk first about this word tragic, which keeps coming up in all of these events, and they emphasize that this is the word they choose. So, tragedy is a play or other serious literary work with an unhappy ending. It is a dramatic poem or play in formal language and having an unhappy resolution. Apparently, literally, goat song, from tragos, goat, buck, ode. What I find fascinating, aside from this, is that this word goat song, goat, buck ode. So, buck is $1. So, money is also maritime, myrrh, has to do with currency, water, flow of water. So, this is the ground facility at FedEx. Ground is the bottom or foundation, the surface of the earth, abyss, hell, bottom of the sea, shallow place, field, plain. Field has come up in several other events. A sense of reason, motive. There's like a grounds to do something. They said in this event they have yet to determine what the motive is. Origin, source, cause. Now, to me, what this means is that it's referring to like the bottom of the sea, hitting the bottom, hitting rock bottom, hitting the ground. So perhaps it has to do with the change of the monetary system, because remember the 100 car pileup event, X Federal, and that crashed. Now we're having a shooting at the FedEx or X Federal ground at the airport, perhaps meaning heaven and earth meeting, but also bottom of the sea, the water, the currency bottoming out, hitting the ground, going rock bottom. I decoded the word shooting, shoot as in like a funnel for water or a channel for water. Again, currency reference. Also, fire is another word they use repeatedly, and there's been a lot of fires burning to the ground. Earth, air, water, fire. There's like the 4 elements. Fire means financial independence, retire early. It's a financial movement, motive, defined by frugality in an extreme savings and investment. By saving up to 70% of annual income, FIRE proponents aim to retire early and live off small withdrawals from accumulated funds. It's an opportunity for you to gain financial independence and retire early by taking advantage of the money transfer.
Shooter currently at FedEx.
Giving FedEx employees like Levi Miller little time to react.
And he started shouting, and then he started firing at random directions.
His name, Levi, is short for Leviathan, perhaps, which is a sea monster, and that's identified in different passages with the whale and the crocodile. A large aquatic creature, especially a whale. In cryptocurrency or even possibly finance, they refer to people who have large holdings of investments as whales, and also a thing that is very large or powerful, especially a ship. The maritime currency system is kind of referred to as a ship, which is why they refer to the Titanic or the ships in quarantine a massive holder of the wealth, which is basically the whole economy. His last name is Miller, and that means one who grinds the grain. And if you look at it in the sense that we're in the process of the leavening, which is separating the wheat from the tares, if you're grinding the grain, you're grinding the wheat. Put pressure on the wheat.
Federal and local investigators now combing through the crime scene. Authorities have
So this happened in Marion County. The shooter's name was Brandon Scott Hole. So Marion is star of the sea. Again, moon star or monster of the sea. Sea monster, same thing. And Brandon Scott Hole. Brandon means crow. Crow is like another animal that was featured during the beginning of the lockdown in reference to like a coronavirus, crow, crown. Scott basically is just reference Scotsman. And hole is hollow, depression, valley. So depression, it could be an economic depression. If you miss the opportunity, then you will fall into economic depression. There's a couple of events that say that the motive is yet to be determined. And so motive is something brought forward, a proposition, assertion, or argument will drive motivation, movement, that which inwardly moves a person to behave a certain way, mental state or force, which induces action of volition, design, or object one has in any action. Having control of motion, causing motion, having power to move someone or something, move.
Identified the gunman as 19-year-old Brandon Scott Hole, a former FedEx employee who was known to local police and FBI for a mental health condition. Police say he was carrying.
So they say that he has a mental health condition, and obviously, there's superficial elements to this. This is what I'm talking about in terms of how they speak to multiple levels of awareness, and you'll see on the surface of this that it's a shooting, yes, and so they're going to be looking at gun control, mental health. That's the superficial level that they want you to look at. So beyond that, then you start looking at the subtext, and then you start looking at the codes, and that's where you see what they're really trying to tell you, and you understand what's really going on here. This event happened at 11 p.m. on April 15th. They do say that there were 4x4 killed.
A rifle when he arrived at the FedEx facility at 11 p.m., immediately opening fire in the parking lot, killing 4 victims, injuring others. He then went inside the facility where he shot 4 more victims before police say it appears he turned the gun on himself and took his own life.
There was no confrontation.
4 shot, another 4 shot, plus himself. So that's 9, and it happened at 11, so that's 9/11. 9/11 happened on April 15th. 9/11 is Christ. April 15th also has religious significance. April 15th, and this signifies Passover. It's a Jewish holiday that commemorates the emancipation of Jewish people from slavery. Slave, a person who is the chattel or property of another. One who has lost the power of resistance to some habit or vice. To enslave, work like a slave. We are all slaves, especially to money. Money is the enslavement tool. And you are being led out of slavery with the opportunity of the money transfer. And if you don't take it, you'll continue to be a slave. So this is your chance for exodus. This is your chance to leave the slave ship. Typically falls in early to mid-April, coinciding with the 15th to the 22nd of the Jewish month of Nisan, or Nisan, based on the lunar calendar. People who observe Passover attend a Seder, a dinner where the story of the Exodus from Egypt is recounted. Seder means order in Hebrew because Seder ritual is performed in a specific order. People celebrating Passover may abstain from eating leavened bread and eat matzo, which is a kind of unleavened bread instead. The four main events at a Seder are eating matzo, eating bitter herbs, drinking 4 cups of wine associated with blessings, and reading from the Haggadah, or book that tells the Passover story. Judaism teaches that the Jews were living as slaves in Egypt, forced into heavy labor and poor living conditions. God heard their cries and sent Moses to free the people from the Pharaoh's rule. Moses asked Pharaoh to let my people go. When Pharaoh refused, God unleashed a series of 10 plagues upon Egypt. Moses asked Pharaoh for the Jews' freedom under each of the plagues. When Pharaoh rejected Moses' requests, a new plague struck Egypt. After the last plague, the killing of the firstborn sons of Egypt, Pharaoh relented and the Jews were set free. The firstborn sons of Jewish people were spared or passed over, which gives the holiday its namesake. The Jews packed up their belongings but did not have time to wait for their bread to rise, making matzo instead. Okay, just think about this for a second. This is not a literal story. These people have just been through several plagues. They've been released and freed as slaves, and they are packing up their belongings but did not have time to wait for their bread to rise. It's obvious allegory. And the leavening of the bread leavening has to do with the pressure cooker, the process under which we are going in order to raise our Christos oil, in order to become enlightened. And so that is what is meant by freeing people from slavery. You're tied to this duality system, and when you become leavened, you become holy, you become enlightened, you leave the duality system, you are now free. So that's what we're going through at the moment. Now, what does XRP have to do with this? I'm going to get to that in a second. So Pharaoh, however, changed his mind and sent his army after the Jews. Once they reached the Red Sea, the Jews feared they were trapped. Instead, the Torah teaches that God parted the Red Sea, allowing the Jews to walk through safely, but closed the sea again as Pharaoh's army tried to follow. So I already covered the Table Mesa event. So if you want to know more about that, I suggest you go watch that video. It is on Bitchute now. California mass shooting, and this one is about 4 dead after gunman opens fire. There's the word fire again at office building, and this happened April 1st.
At least 4 are dead, including a child.
Mentions specifically that there was 1 child among the 4 dead. What I suspect this is representative of is the firstborn, the death of the firstborn with the plagues of the Exodus, and the shooter was 44, so there's your 4x4 again. Okay, so here are the events that happened on the Last Supper. Passover represents Israel's escape from bondage in Egypt. In Exodus, the blood of the Passover lamb was painted on the door frames, causing the plague of the firstborn to pass over their houses, sparing the firstborn sons from death. So one of the plagues was that they would have to sacrifice the firstborn. Again, this is allegory. It has nothing to do with literally killing firstborn children. It's about your thoughts. The Last Supper is significant because Jesus showed his disciples he was about to become the Passover Lamb of God. His blood would open the door to freedom. His followers would exchange slavery to sin and death for eternal life in God's kingdom. God's body. There are 3 main views regarding blood and wine during the practice of communion. The bread and wine consumed during the Last Supper has remained a constant in Christian community. Bread and wine becomes the actual body and blood of Christ. This all has to do with the leavening. I've covered this many times. Okay, so they say there's 4 dead. The other one had 8. 4x4 is 8. This is at 202, which is your 22. 22 is a major code in the rebuilding of the financial system.
Hey, George, this is a normally quiet neighborhood here in Orange, California. Witnesses tell me they were stuck.
Okay, so she's in Orange, California, and orange is your number 33. Orange is a very popular color for these situations, these events. Difficult to see, but she's standing in front of Lincoln Body and Paint. An anagram for body paint is antibody. Against, opposed to, it just means like the opposite of physical body. Antibody would be your spiritual body. Above your body or outside of your body or not your body. It is the opposite of body. The bodily resurrection was the restoration to life of a transformed body powered by spirit, as described by Paul and the gospel authors. One of the witnesses was Paul.
Stunned to hear gunshots coming from this office building right behind me.
Okay, so this was an office shooting. Now, an office is a post in government or administration and employment to which certain duties are attached. Power, might, abundance, means. The Latin word was contracted from epiphysium, literally work doing. Now, in many of my previous decoding videos, the word ergon or work has shown up. Work, to do, ergon, where, which is like also connected to Taurus, like the vortex within the Taurus. Where, were, work, werg. It's all the same word. Now, power, might, abundance, means. This is your money. This is your work. Is the energy you put out in order to get your means, your financial means, to make, to do. So this is again a key about money. So office is referring to money.
Back up, there's a shootout.
Over.
It sounds very strange to me that he's saying back up, it's a shootout. Shootout involves two people who shoot at each other and there's gunfire going off everywhere. It says now here on this sign next to an orange fire hydrant.
Overnight, an active shooter wreaking havoc at a Southern California office building.
Sounds like we have shots fired. Let's make sure we have a good staging location.
Make sure we have a good staging location. Shots fired again. 202. But also, if you look at this sign here, so here you can see the names of the companies in this building: Intersect Consulting, Farmers Insurance, Unified Homes, Legacy Digital, Calco Financial. So financial, digital, Intersect Consulting, Homes, Farmers. We've had a lot of videos with farmers as a code, but financial digital is literally on the sign here under 22. So this is very clearly telling you this is about the financial system moving to digital.
At about 5:30 p.m., encountering a...
So 5:30 p.m., 5 and 3 is 8. So again, the number 8 comes up. So 8 came up in the 100-car pileup. 8 came up in the last one I just showed you. And 8 is the 4x4, or the 8 is also the infinity loop for a new system. Now, we got, so 8 is like rebirth or regeneration or incarnation, and just a new cycle. So you got this sign here is also orange, and it's past a party for your PP, for your 33. And then you've got Glassell, which I'll get to in a second. Orange again, orange motors, orange county, orange sign.
And then the police came, and then I heard a few more gunshots go off, and then there was like a lot quickly.
The officer...
So Amanda Foreign, cold, it also means spring or pool. Cold little Ford. Ford is water. Okay, this woman's name is Jennifer Amat. It is actually Ma'at, which means balance. It is the Egyptian goddess of balance, Ma'at. And Jennifer means basically Jack. You could interpret it as the devil, but it's actually Lucifer, which is light bearer. Fur means to carry. Jen could be interpreted as like jinn, which is magic, or your inner magic, which is your inner light. So this is light bearer. Don't get all excited and think that that's actually like evil or anything. It's not evil, it's just what it is. Putting the evil into things, it prevents you from seeing a lot of things, a lot of truth, but we're the ones who make things good and evil. The things are just are. So ma'at is balance. You balance the good and the evil. You get rid of it. You neutralize it. Okay, so you notice that her necklace, she's wearing a cross that's sideways. Many view the horizontal cross as a symbol of Jesus achieving salvation of his people. To some, the sideways cross is a symbol of earth lying between heaven and hell. Okay, so this event, remember, happened April 1st, which is right before the Easter weekend. Cross is also an X. Symbol for XRP is an X. As above, so below, heaven and earth. And it is also the Cairo, which is Jesus Christ. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I don't blame you, that's fine. But go back to watch my other video where I decoded XRP 22, and that breakdown is toward the end of that video. So XRP is the phoenix, the Cairo, the cross, the unity of heaven and earth. It is Jesus Christ. XRP represents the second coming of Christ. Do not take this as like some kind of antichrist message, because it's not. I'm just telling you what the codes mean. The Last Supper is the 1st of April. Now, the following weekend was Easter, and so there's great controversy as to when Jesus actually died or was crucified and when he rose 3 days later. According to the Bible, it is unclear. And the reason is because it's not a literal story. It's an allegory. If he died on the Friday and rose 3 days later, he couldn't have risen on the Sunday. It had to be on the Monday. But whatever. There's an issue over what day he actually did rise. Alright, so April 1st is the Last Supper. XRP was 57 cents US. And then it's still, flatline. It started to rise on the 5th, which is Easter Monday. So it was resurrected from the dead. And then it hit $1 precisely at 6 a.m. on April 6th, the 6/6. Too coincidental. So April 15th was another event. This is the Exodus. So Exodus, things started to decline. And they hit rock bottom April 18th at 8 p.m. And now they're starting to rise again on the 18th, which is 9. My point is that I have noticed there's a pattern of behavior with XRP relating to these Jesus events and these religious holidays, these religious events. The rumors of the lawsuit from the SEC came out on the 21st via Brad Garlinghouse, and so the price started to fall. Now the 21st is the winter solstice, and that's when the sun goes in its tomb for 3 days. So then the price started to fall or die. XRP died. This is what the market is now. It's still gone further down and is looking like it's gone on an upturn, but let's zoom in onto the 7-day. It still looks like it's on a downturn. This is just XRP. However, the entire market is down. Everything is down, everything is red, with a few minor exceptions. Dogecoin is one of them. So there are a lot of theories as to why this is, and a lot of them are leaning back to Bitcoin. So after Jesus' resurrection, there's an ascension. In Christian belief, the ascent of Jesus into heaven on the 40th day after his resurrection. That would be May 1st. So look for some sort of activity on May 1st. It isn't exact, but it is a general pattern I'm noticing. This is not coincidence. This is on purpose. XRP is Jesus Christ. XRP is the second coming of Christ. XRP is the Cairo. XRP is the Phoenix, the rebirth, the new system. This is happening right outside this sign, and this person's name is Laura Beth Buck, and the company's name is Buck Shepherd. Now, again, Buck with the dollars, right? Shepherd means to herd, so you're herding the sheep. The phone number adds up to 13, so you got 9, 9, 4 and 5 are 9, and you got a 1 here, another 9, so that's 5 9s, which is 45, and you got the 1 and the 1 and the 2, which is your 22, or your 4, which is 13, and then you got this symbol here. What it looks like to me is that it could be representative of Steam, which is a token for social media where you get paid out rewards. Steam flips the model and returns the value to the people who contribute the most. Users become platform stakeholders, maintaining control over their data and earning crypto rewards for each contribution they make. So whenever you share information on social media, you get rewarded with Steam tokens. This is what I'm talking about. This is where the future of the blockchain is headed. You get rewarded for your attention and your energy. And so a lot of people will be rewarded for contributing to the blockchain in terms of posting or sharing content, fact-checking, watching commercials, watching certain videos. Certain videos will have potentially greater rewards than others. So this platform helps facilitate that. This platform is connected to the social media platform called Steemit, social blogging platform. DTube, decentralized video platform. Utopian, funding open source projects. Smart Media Token, SMT. FedEx Smart Post. Social media posts that you get rewarded for with your Smart Media Token, which would make it a smart post. Perhaps that's a connection. Perhaps it isn't. So anyway, that's what this logo looks like to me. It could be something else.
Police, or if he shot himself. And they say the motive here is still under investigation, George.
They haven't determined what the motive is. Her name is Kaylee, variant of K, keeper of the keys. Keys was also a code in previous videos. Also means laurel or crown.
Roadblocks remain as LaSalle and Lincoln fell quiet.
The scene is safe. There is no current danger to the public.
Police have yet to say what business was involved or why a child was on the premises. Signs indicate there's a counseling center here. This man fears his brother's real estate firm.
She's wearing the CC on her face.
Is involved.
I'm just trying to find out his.
He's got the angels on his face.
I'm just trying to find out his well-being. He's not answering his phone. He does my knees. I'm pretty scared and worried. I wish I knew more.
And it's just such a tragedy.
Now, this was also at an office complex, and the word complex, composed of interconnected parts. One of the other reporters mentioned many parts. In the video that I did decoding the RT-PCR test, the polymerase means many parts. So this is another code that comes up multiple times. Formed by a combination of simple things or elements, complicated, complex, intricate, surrounding, encompassing, past participle of complexity, to encircle, embrace, to hold fast, master, comprehend, with, together, we're in this together, to weave, braid, twine, entwine, to plait. Complex, office complex, money complex. The complex money system is being shot, being taken down. It is being moved into a new money system that is going to be interconnected. So, one, the shooting occurred on the intersection of Lincoln and Glassell. The name meaning of Glassell was also Glaspell or Gospel. Pretty similar. Gospel is a goat spell. Goat ode, which is a tragedy. This William T. Glassell, he was resident in Orange, which is what this street is named after him. So he was actually around when Lincoln was around. So the intersection of Lincoln and Glassell is fairly significant. And he was an officer in the Confederate States Navy during the American Civil War. The American Civil War was about slavery, freeing the slaves. And he laid the city of Orange, California. And Lincoln was shot on April 14th, and he died April 15th. April 15th, Lincoln died. He was trying to free the slaves. He led the nation through the American Civil War to free the slaves. That is what this shooting is about. It is about freeing the slaves. It is about exodus through the money transfer. So another shooting that happened, this happened March 17th, 2021. St. Patrick's Day is March 17th. St. Patrick was a patron saint of Ireland, and he was kidnapped at the age of 16, taken to Ireland as a slave to convert the Irish to Christianity. By the time of his death on March 17th, he had established monasteries, churches, and schools. Many legends grew up around him. For example, he drove the snakes out of Ireland and used the shamrock to explain the Trinity. This sounds like a myth to me, so this is probably allegory. Shamrock looks like this. This is the Ripple logo. This is the Trinity right here. 8 killed in shooting spree in Atlanta spas. Now again, there's that number 8. A spa is a medicinal or mineral spring, a fountain, a commercial establishment offering health and beauty treatments. So spring is a financial term that when the markets dip down a couple of times, it is about to spring. Now this area where this event happened was a place with multiple massage parlors.
In Atlanta, killing at least 8 people. A suspect is in custody this morning, and police across the country are...
So there's a spa there and there's a spa here. This is a gold spa. Now gold is also money, and here you got aromatherapy spa, and you got the blue and the red, gold. Do spiders make you jump? This is a very strange kind of poster, Northwest Exterminating. It's a very strange kind of poster. It's also at a strange location. So when I saw this, I thought, okay, well, is this a crypto called Spider or Jump or something like that? And there is a Spider cryptocurrency. So the Spider cryptocurrency is called Spider Deo, and it's currently valued at 4 cents. If you look at March 17th, 5 cents, and then the following weekend it went up to a high of 8 cents. This is in Canadian. So it's very small supply, very small market cap, and extremely low trading volume. So this, combined with being on Ether, is something I would stay away from. It is connected to Polkadot ecosystem, which is beneficial and it is good, but I wouldn't personally get involved in something with such low trading volume and low market cap, simply because it is incredibly hard to buy, incredibly hard to sell. I did find it funny there was a Spider crypto when I saw this. So I was trying to see if there was also one that was Jump. Is there a Jump coin? But it is ranked 2,000 out of 6,000. It has 0 trading volume. It has a 0 24-hour high and low. It's not really trading anywhere. Here's where it's available. It has a penny value. It's only available on this one exchange. So this is even harder to buy, and I would stay away from it. You know, that's kind of how I look at these stories. If something stands out to me like this, that's kind of unusual, then I'll just look to see if there's a coin and is there a connection between the two. And at the time when I was looking at this story, I didn't think there was a strong enough connection between the Spider or the Jump coin to suggest that that is what they were pushing. Considering that the Spiders Make You Jump poster didn't have anything to do with the Spider crypto or the Jump crypto, the etymology of spider, it says literally spinner. I mean, you could also say spiders, they spin webs, and web, it has to do with internet, interweb. Spinner spin, draw out and twist fibers into thread, and we saw this in another code where they were twisting into a plait. Revolve, turn around rapidly, attempt to influence reporters' minds after an event has taken place, but before they have written about it. Spin doctor, a rapid revolving motion, act of playing a phonograph record. In terms of the new world, we're starting a new record. This is all about the new world, the new program, the new game, the new record. Involves like a new torus, a new rota. And then you look at jump, sudden abrupt rise, abrupt transition from one point to another, a parachute descent, make a spring from the ground. So we had the word ground and we had the word spring as codes as well. So jump could have to do with the spring, the market with the spring of the double touch down, and then instead of going up it goes down, which is what it did. The market actually did do that, so maybe that's what this was warning about.
Georgia authorities are investigating 3 crime scenes across 2 counties and what looks like a series of deadly shootings at Asian massage parlor. His niece says he wasn't even at the business and was caught in the gunfire.
He was coming out of the store beside the massage parlor and the...
This woman's name is Adriana. That means see, mare, Maya. Maya means illusion.
The other store beside it, and he was outside.
Investigators say it is extremely likely that Long is the same gunman seen at 2 other shootings more than 30 miles away in northeast Atlanta. And they point to a black SUV seen on surveillance video near the crime scenes. While police were there, the call came in from yet another spot across the street.
So the number on here adds up to 8. Suite B is number 2.
Across the street, where another woman was shot and killed. Police tell us they don't know if race is the reason for these killings, but to be safe, they're putting similar Asian businesses.
Platinum, gold, metals.
I should also point out again that, we still have no motive that police are identifying in this case.
Again, no motive. Both stories say they had no motive as of yet.
But police in cities across the country are responding to this, protectively stepping up patrols.
March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, was one event. March 22nd was Skull and Bones, which is also the spring equinox. That was another event. April 1st was another event, and April 15th was another event, all of which have religious significance. So, to me, this is not a coincidence. All of it is tied to the monetary system. XRP is at the heart of the monetary system. XRP is Jesus Christ. XRP has events happen around it that tie in to significant events that are correlated with Jesus. These events seem to be correlated to the market, if not directly correlated to XRP. So, the whole market fell. So you can't really say that it was just XRP that was affected. Yeah, that's my observance, and I'm going to be paying closer attention to it from now on. All right, thanks.